Come on, Patelis. Give me some magic. Oh, they're putting a man on the line. Well, let's see if it works. It still goes in. She's got pretty good free kicks. Come on, Patelis. Let's go. These free kicks are insane. They just go in every single time. Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome back to the channel. One of the most popular videos I do every single year is my free kick tutorials. Every single year there seems to be new technique. They're normally quite similar, but a slightly different way of being able to score free kicks. Free kicks, set pieces seem OP as ever on this FIFA, or this EAFC. I've been practicing them over the last day. I've already scored like 6 or 7 in online matches. Obviously, this is only when you actually get a free kick that you can take. I've been practicing though against the computer, practicing them in the arena, and like I said, been able to score pretty much every single time I get them, even in online matches, when they're moving the keeper, putting men on the line. I've figured out how to score them. This video, I'm going to explain exactly how to take them, tell you how to practice them, and give you a little bit more insight into some of the finer nuances this year. So like things about the dead ball play style, things like that, how big a difference those make. And by the end of this video, you should be able to go score some banger free kicks yourself. So let's get into it. So in the arena, you can see the arena's not as good this year, unfortunately, for taking free kicks. It's really annoying. Last year on the arena, if I was to put the wall, like take a free kick around this area, the wall would go there, and a right footer would be aiming to curl it over there. For some reason this year, the way they position the wall in the arena, and it doesn't let you change where the wall is, unless I'm missing something. They have changed the practice arena yet. You can't really practice actually curling it. But what can happen, people sometimes move their keeper and the wall in game in a way where you can't curl it over the wall because the keeper's on that side. So the best way of scoring is the outside of the foot. So I'm going to show you 2 ways of scoring really. The outside of the foot and then the inside. The inside foot I think is better this year, especially if they don't move the keeper a lot. But the outside of the foot's still really good. So you can see it here. When you're taking it, you generally speaking, just go back a little bit so the quality's better. You generally speaking want to put the outside of the foot there so you can see the ball probably like in between the middle and the bottom left corner. This is with a right footer. If you was using a left footer, you'd be hitting the outside of the foot of the ball probably about there. So it's basically left foot or right foot, just do the opposite side of angles. And if you was hitting it with the outside of the foot on this corner to the left corner, it's with a right foot. If you're hitting with the outside of the foot, so going like that, with a left foot, it'd be on this side. If you were doing a curler with a right footer, you'd go from this side to there. If you're doing a inside foot curl with a left footer, it'd go from there to there. So here you can see I've lined it up. I lined the outside of the foot up pretty much in line like this, just outside the post. Can be around here, nothing too high. And then you can see the power. Let me show you, pause it a second to show you the power. You can see the power there. The line goes from there to there. That's probably about 3 to 3.5 bars of power. I haven't had many examples online of getting the outside the foot because most people have either been putting a man on the line or not moving the keeper enough to do it. But the arena, the way it plays in game, do play pretty similar. So I'm just going to show you some examples here. They're crossbarring in. Very nice. I'll keep showing you. But like you can see here, in the arena, when you do this, it just keeps moving it like that. If I put that there, it doesn't allow me to really do an outside the foot. It's a bit weird. Again, outside of the foot. This time I've aimed it slightly more to the outside of the post. Flies in right in the top corner. This does the exact same game. This free kick was probably the most OP on last year's FIFA. On EAFC, I think the outside of the foot, as you can see, they're pretty good. They're fairly consistent. But I think the inside of the foot curler, if the keeper's in the right position, which they start in that position and most people don't move the keeper, is the better one. See, it just flies into the top corner. And you can do this every time pretty much if you get the knack of it. In game, the wall doesn't go in this position though. So you'd need people there. You can see I did a bit too much power. You even need people to move the keeper to the side or move the wall a bit. And if they don't, then you'll use the inside of the foot. But there you can see the arena. Unfortunately, you can't actually practice the inside of the foot curl because the way the wall positions. But the outside of the foot, that is exactly what you do in game if people are moving the keeper or the wall and it opens up. Let's go show you some in-game examples so you can see I've actually got proof of me scoring it online against real opponents and the technique I use for my favourite way of scoring. So there are a few things that matter when it comes to the choice of player who is taking the free kick. The free kick accuracy, pretty obvious. The lower the free kick accuracy, the less likely it is to go where you aim. The shot power, this matters more on certain types of free kicks. So if you're doing an outside the foot or the ones that have less curl on them, shot power matters more. And curve obviously matters more for the curled free kicks. The inside the foot curl would be a prime example of that. The other thing that's been added this year is the dead ball specialist. We'll look at the wording EA have for that, but in terms of how it works in actual game, you can see here, Patelas has a blue line that goes like that. It goes about that far. She doesn't actually have the dead ball specialist playstyle. She has pretty high free kicks and good stats for it, you can see there. But if you have the dead ball normal playstyle, it would go to about there and show you how far it would go. I will show you with James Madison, who has the actual playstyle plus, what it does. And it really shows you there, the arrow going further. So with the playstyle plus for dead ball, it pretty much shows you where you're aiming, where it will go. It'll make sense a bit more when we show it. But you can see me lining up the free kick here. So they've even put a man on the line. Previous FIFAs, it was pretty hard to score if they put the man on the line. I would still shoot because it would go in a fair bit. But this year, it seems to just fly over. Free kicks seem to be buffed this year, which is nice. I like being able to score a free kick. So you can see I'm lining it up. I tend to, if I'm aiming for the top corner, this is the starting position keepers will have, by the way. They'll start slightly to one side of the middle. And if they don't move their keeper at all, you pretty much every time, if you get it around here, guaranteed to go in. If they move the keeper to the middle, if you put it in the top corner, it'll go in. If they move the keeper any more to the side like there, then you can use outside of the foot, things like that, or other ways of putting it into that corner. So it's pretty much impossible for people to defend free kicks if you get them on the outside of the box this year. So you can see here, I want to pause it on the power. You can see I've aimed it there. This is pretty much where the curl starts. If the wall, I think, is going to jump, or it's a little bit further out sometimes. No, sorry, if the wall, I think, is going to jump, or it's just right on the edge of the box, I need to get it up and down quick, I'll move it ever so slightly down just to get a little bit more lift. But you can see here, about to take it. And you can see the power there. We don't have 1, 2, 3, 4 bars on the power for some reason this year like previous. But you can see there, my power, I would say that's about historically 3 out of 4 bars. Maybe slightly over 3 bars that I've aimed it. So I've aimed it just on the inside of the foot there. Barely moved it from where the curve starts. Just over 3 bars of power. And there you can see there, it curves and it goes there. If the keeper, you can see the keeper's not even that close to it. Everyone has good keepers as well. And no one has bad keepers. It's not like I'm just scoring it against a bad keeper. Goes over the man on the line pretty easy. If the keeper had been there, I would have still had room to put it there. Obviously a little bit less room for error. But once you get good at this, you can pretty much consistently do this every single time. I'll show you a few more examples of me scoring this so you can see it's not just a fluke. You can see there it's div rival, so I'm not just, this hasn't just happened. Again, it's not like I've set it up for someone to just let me get an easy free kick. I'll show you some examples so you can see the consistency of taking it and hopefully be able to see it in action, be able to take it into your game. Okay, here you can see a clip of me scoring a free kick with James Madison. So James Madison, you can see there, has the dead ball playstyle plus. Here, you can see what that does exactly. So that, the blue line to about there, is how far, it might show up to about there. If you don't have the playstyle thing, it'll stop there. If you have the normal one, it goes to about there. And then having the playstyle plus shows you pretty much how far it's going to go, where it's going to aim. So you can see there, I'm aiming it. It's showing it's going to go to about there. But because it's still got a bit more, the further out basically, the less the playstyle matters. It should be harder. It's going to be a harder free kick. One of the best ways to practice free kicks, by the way, because you can't just set them up in the arena properly. But I don't know what EA are doing there. And you can't just get, unless you want to get a friend to literally just let you practice free kicks that keeps fouling you. The only way really is to go into Moments. Moments has a few free kicks from different angles, and you can practice there. It's pretty good. This is an example of that. 28 meters, so it's a pretty tough free kick. You can see me going for it here. Because I'm a bit further out, I've put more power on. So I've put probably 3.5 bars of power on. I've got the curl. You can see here, I've not even changed it. I've not even changed from the start of the clip. I've not moved that. I've just moved it around the wall. If I'm curling it from this side into there, that corner, I would go from right to left. But because I like the inside foot curl more than the outside of the foot, I'm curving it around the wall here, bending it so it's going wider than in. You can see there, curve it, and it flies in. The dead ball specialist as well, I think, doesn't just mean that you can see more where it's going to go. It hits it with more power, hits it with more curve. They're just in general better. I'm not going to have James Maddison in my team purely for free kicks. He's not the most meta FIFA player. But you can see here, that's nearly, 30 odd yards? That's a pretty crazy free kick and it just flies in. Okay, here's another example of me scoring a free kick with the inside foot curl technique, taking it outside the wall. You can see there, bit less power than the one with James Maddison because it's a bit closer. Curved it to go around the wall. You can see there, because he doesn't have the playstyle, doesn't show as much. Bends around the wall and just flies into the corner. The power they seem to hit it with when you hit it at that angle, keepers just can't deal with it. And like I say, if they was to move the keeper, you just aim at the opposite corner. Okay, here's another one in Division Rivals. So I've shown you a few now from Division Rivals. I've shown you a few from where I recommend you should be practicing them in the foot moments or Ultimate Team moments now. That's EAFC. Like I said, I wanted to make sure I was showing you some in Rivals. They have moved the keeper slightly on this one, I think. From memory, I don't have that on the clip. But I think they've moved the keeper slightly that way, which is a bit dumb. But you've already seen what happens with the keeper's position normally. This is my favourite way of scoring, and this should be the most consistent way you score them. If people do not move their keeper, you should have a left footer in your team when you're taking it from this side. Pretty much anywhere from centre to the right, you should be taking it with a left footer and curving it around, basically aiming at the first man and curving it into there. And if it's on the centre to left of the box, use a right foot and curl it into the top left corner. This is my favourite way though. Patelis is very good at it. As you can see here, just under 3 bars of power. That's where it goes 3 to 4. I've aimed it there. And it goes really well in. It curves very well. If the person had jumped there, they might have been able to block that. Most people don't even bother jumping, and you don't have to put too much power on and risk it going over. If someone's jumping and you get more than one free kick, put a little bit more backlift on it. Makes it a bit less consistent, but people rarely do it. Like I said, if you only have one really good free kick taker and they're right-footed, then just do what I said before with Maddison, and just aim it going like there and to curve round. But ideally speaking, to make this simpler for you, the best way of taking it is with inside foot curls. Aim it on the shoulder or just inside there. Curls into the top corner with a left foot of this side to the top right. On that side, a right foot curved over to top left. You've seen me score them with a player with the dead ball playstyle plus. You've seen me score them with Patelis, who has really good stats. You've seen me score them with Asensio, who has pretty average. I think his shooting for stats for free kicks are in the high 70s. Very easy to do. Everyone should have someone in their team who do it. If you can add these to your game, they are simple and easy goals. Highly recommend doing them. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions or you're struggling. Appreciate you watching. As always, keep it spicy. Have a good one. Peace.